Hey, yo, what's up, y'all? This is Deezo here. I have an Overwatch montage for you guys, but on top of that, I also have an X-Men Apocalypse review for you guys, as I just saw the movie last night with Super Joe. Please be forewarned that my review will have spoilers in it, just in case you actually want to see the film and what have you. I would definitely recommend you don't watch it, because I will be spoiling certain parts of this movie. Starting off, I wouldn't pay to see this movie again. I think this is the kind of the movie where you want to watch the bootleg with a bunch of your friends just to see their reaction to the movie. I didn't really like the movie that much. I thought it was okay, but I wouldn't pay to see it again. And there are a few things I didn't like. Starting off, I definitely didn't like the casting. Most notably, I didn't like Cyclops, Jean, especially Nightcrawler. And Nightcrawler is the most painful one because that's my favorite Marvel character. I didn't like his casting. I thought Angel was alright. I actually thought Olivia Munn as Psylocke was kind of alright. I can kind of see where they were going with that. But there's a lot of casting I didn't like. Apocalypse especially. So starting off, I didn't like the casting. Secondly, I definitely didn't really like the story or the plot behind the movie. And I understand like a significant aspect of comic book films is to change, embellish, or exaggerate certain parts of the story in order to bring it to the big screen. So there's certain things that you'll change, and that's just the way it goes. You kind of have to change certain aspects. There are a lot of things that they changed that I just didn't understand why they changed it, or I didn't like it at all. Most notably, one of them is Cyclops being the younger brother and Havoc being the older brother. I feel like the dynamic between the two is kind of like, how can I word this? For example, Cyclops, we always just known that Cyclops was by the book and he's real strict when it comes to like doing things right. For some reason, that's Havoc. That's Havoc's personality. In the movie, Cyclops is the one that's gung-ho and all about, going for the gold and things like that, kind of like Havoc was, you know what I mean, in the comics and things like that. And so for some reason, that dynamic is completely flipped on top of its head. And for whatever reason, in this universe, their parents are alive and on Earth, and apparently aren't mutants either. Like, these are just regular, everyday human beings that they have access to. I didn't get that either, because that's definitely a part of their upbringing, and that's a part of why the characters were how they were. In Apocalypse, please correct me if I'm wrong on this. I don't remember this being the case, but apparently it was the case the whole time, and I just didn't know it. According to Fox Studios, Apocalypse has the ability to just turn any living being or any inanimate object into sand. That's his ability, or he will shift you into something. So I don't know how many people that he came across that he either melted them into a wall, into the floor, or he just straight up turned them into sand. That was literally the most threatening thing about Apocalypse. Like, he was just gonna turn you into dust. And for some reason, at one point during the film, when he runs into Storm, he learns through osmosis. I watched this dude touch Storm's television set, and he learned how to speak English. He learned about history just from touching this TV screen. That was, she had her TV on, he touched this shit, he learned all this stuff. So apparently he learns through osmosis. He makes you better just by touching you. If he isn't turning you into sand, he's going to enhance your abilities, which is what he did to Storm, which is why Storm's hair is silver. It's why Archangel grew metallic wings. This is why Psylocke, I don't even know what he did to enhance Psylocke's powers. It seems to me like maybe, okay, I figured it out. So she turns her she has the Psy Blade, she turns it into a Psy Lasso to try to choke Beast. I guess that's her augmentation from Apocalypse. There's just certain things, and this is on top of Apocalypse looking like Ivan Ooze, which was one of the other worst things about the film, mind you. It's just like, there was just so much that went wrong with the film. I remember at one point, everybody gets captured, and I had to go pee during that part of the movie, so I went to go pee, and the second I came back, Wolverine was on screen for some reason, just killing everybody. I don't know what happened, but it was just like, okay, I knew you couldn't have an X-Men movie without Wolverine in it in some capacity. But thankfully, he was only on screen for like 3 or 4 minutes at most. It wasn't that long. The other thing that I didn't really like about it too, the movie's setting is within 1983. So the other thing I kind of don't understand is why Jubilee is there and alive. Like, Jubilee is the youngin, right? So how is it that she's alive and in high school with these guys? Like, I don't really get that either. Nightcrawler just looked terrible, man. He just didn't do. Nightcrawler didn't really do anything tight. That's also what saddened me. I think that what this movie has, what the Fox X-Men movies has, I can tell that like their like trump card scene in each of these movies is going to be Quicksilver doing something tight. Like I can just tell that that's what they lean upon, and that's going to be something that you're going to see in all these movies. And yeah, that movie sucked. I probably wouldn't really recommend anybody seeing it. I mean, I guess if you really like X-Men, you should see it just to see how bad it is. It definitely wasn't that good, and I definitely want to watch it with a bunch of friends just to see how they react to the movie. But for me overall, I definitely didn't like it that much. Anyway, if I had to rate the movie, I'd give it 2.5 stars, maybe 3. 3 is probably pushing it. 3.5 at most, if you're being generous. But anyway, thanks a bunch for watching. I plan to have more videos like this in the future, so please be on the lookout. And thanks a bunch for watching. Catch you later.